Good morning. Coming up this morning on DC News Now, the death toll rising in the Hawaiian island of Maui as those wildfires continue to burn.
Here's from a Virginia woman who has a personal connection to the islands and the tragedy, plus the local people going to help.
And out there later on this afternoon, we'll see those high temperatures climbing mid to upper 80s, a little bit hotter than the day yesterday, and it will be dry as well. Of all the latest details in that weekend forecast coming up.
And a spike in the number of people being evicted from their Northern Virginia homes.
We're seeing a lot of increases, up to 15% of increased rent. And where will that money come from if the wages haven't increased yearly?
How advocates say lawmakers can put a stop to the issue.
And later, getting the best back-to-school deals. We are highlighting which items will cost you more than last year.
The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
All right, good morning. It is now 6 o'clock on a Friday morning. Live look outside. It's going to be a pretty nice day after we saw some rain in some spots yesterday. But good morning. Thanks for waking up with us, staying up with us, waking up with us. We've been up for a while already. I'm Tanaya Wright.
Yeah, good morning to you. I'm Corey James. Shanique, we have more on the roads in a moment. But first, turning things over to Jackie. Jackie, what should we do today with this weather?
I mean, you can do many things. You can grill. I know on my planner, I put the little grill in the background.
Okay.
Nice.
That's an option.
So you're cooking for us
fancy?
today?
I cannot grill.
I don't trust myself grilling.
I don't trust myself grilling either. I leave that to the boyfriend.
That's true.
He loves to do that.
And he's a good griller.
Yes, he is.
He is a good cook.
Yes, yeah. So we'll probably do that today.
I'll be over.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Yes. Yeah, okay. Tanaya, you also want to come over as well?
Depends what time.
Oh, that's true.
You know how she is.
I have a
She
child.
has a schedule.
Well, my daughter's on a tight schedule.
Yeah, that's true.
Take her off for one day.
Because I gotta then when she doesn't sleep at night, I'll call you guys and you can stay up with her.
That's okay. Yeah, stay home.
Yeah, exactly. That's okay. We'll
Just be the three of us.
we'll enjoy some steak and some corn. Yeah. Anyway. But if you were trying to grill out there later on today, highs will be mid to upper 80s. It will be a little bit hotter than yesterday. At least we'll see more of the sunshine today, too. And also, we will not be seeing any of those heavy downpours that we did see yesterday. So that will not dampen any of your plans for outside today. Again, the radar, it is all clear to kickstart your Friday morning. And we're looking at a wider view showing us we'll continue to notice those drier conditions through the day today. Current temperatures, those are in the 60s and 70s, right around 71 in Hagerstown, 70 in Frederick and D.C. Low 70s in Lexington Park, a little bit cooler over towards Woodstock and Luray, coming up upper 50s to right about 60 at this point. Dew points a little bit more comfortable back out towards our western zone, still a touch on the muggy side, closer towards D.C. and up and down the I-95 corridor. Now, like I mentioned, here's that planner with the grill in the background, seeing a couple of steaks, a hamburger, and some corn as well. We'll see those high temperatures climbing upper 80s, a few more clouds later on this afternoon. More details coming up with that 7-day, but Shanique is here with the very latest details on the roadways. How's traffic?
Yeah, Jackie, you're showing that grill. I'm taking that as an invite officially, so thank you very much. Let's look at the Capitol Beltway here. You are looking okay, even though you have a crash heading eastbound right in College Park, right near Route 1. You shouldn't expect any delays, really. I'm not seeing any. 95 is looking good on the Maryland side and Virginia side, actually. Here's an update. You had a crash on 95 heading northbound right near Franconia Parkway, but that did clear, so you are all good to go.
All right, your time right now is 6:02 on this Friday morning.
A quick look at your Know and Go headlines this morning. First up, Montgomery County is helping its businesses. That is through a project to provide grants to businesses impacted by the Purple Line construction. The light rail project has caused some businesses to lose revenue because of construction delays. Applications for the grant open next week.
And the Humane Rescue Alliance in D.C. is facing an outbreak of canine influenza. The shelter says it cannot be transmitted to people, but that dogs experience similar symptoms like cough and fever. The Alliance is waiving adoption fees through this Sunday to encourage people to adopt.
And officials say the death toll from the wildfires in Maui has increased to at least 55. Search and rescue teams from around the country, including right here in the DMV, being called in to help with the recovery efforts. And Maryland Governor Wes Moore is offering his condolences to the people who are affected by those fires.
Yeah, Moore took to social media to offer support to first responders who are working to save people. He also expressed his condolences to people in Maui who have lost loved ones, their homes, and cherished cultural sites to the catastrophic wildfires. He also said he is praying for everyone there, including first responders and Hawaii's governor. Now, meantime, back here at home, people with friends and family on the island say they feel helpless being thousands of miles away. Jamie McDaniel lives in Stafford, Virginia, Virginia, but grew up on the Hawaii island of Oahu. She says she had trouble reaching loved ones there. McDaniel says she has never seen such widespread destruction.
I have never, ever seen anything catastrophic like this. It looks like the apocalypse over there. They've lost everything in a matter of minutes. And it's not just one person. It's communities. This is thousands and thousands of people at one time.
President Biden declared a national disaster in Hawaii. The move frees up more federal funding and loans to cover property losses for homeowners.
And thousands of people have been stranded as those wildfires continue to burn. The Maui airport is sheltering travelers as flights were delayed or even canceled. Officials are preparing to take in thousands of displaced tourists and locals.
Had a great time and went to the beach and then came back and heard that the roads were closed. Traffic even getting out was really bad in the morning. But yeah, we could see the fires from the distance. It was really scary.
Authorities are telling tourists to avoid the area and change plans if possible.
Hey, let me see your hands.
And this morning, new footage showing what happened in the moments leading up to a man and D.C. police firing shots at each other. Now, neither the man or the officer was struck by gunfire. This all happened along Benning Road last Tuesday. Officers responded to the area for reports of gunshots. The officer saw someone in an apartment courtyard and asked them to show their hands. This all according to police. And that's when authorities say the person started shooting. The officer fired back and then called for backup. Councilmember Zachary Parker hosted a crime walk in the Brookland neighborhood last night. It's part of a new initiative in the district. Wednesday night, police and people who live in the Capitol Hill neighborhood also walked the streets together in solidarity. They called for solutions to the recent uptick in crime in D.C.
Your time right now is 6:06 this morning. Eviction filings in Northern Virginia are going up. This as rent increases and tenants are struggling to make ends meet. According to the Eviction Lab, filing rates in Arlington County have increased by 15% over the past year. Now, this is compared to pre-pandemic rates. In Fairfax County, it's up about 4%. The Northern Virginia Affordable Housing Alliance is also tracking increased eviction filing rates in those counties.
Increases in rent have definitely been making it much harder for tenants to stay in their homes.
We have to hear these stories daily from our community members, which they tend to be, the working class families, immigrant families.
Advocates are urging local governments to invest in housing and additional rent relief funding. All right, well, some good news for some businesses in Montgomery County. The county is giving more money to businesses that are impacted by the construction of the Purple Line light rail.
Yeah, small businesses that may have lost revenue because of the rail line project construction might be eligible for grant money. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile is live near Bethesda this morning, where one of the construction routes of the project is located. And Tosin, what do small business owners need to know to get some of the available funds?
Well, Corey, small businesses, there are two major criteria they have to meet to be able to get some of this grant money. One of them is they have to have a physical location adjacent to the construction of the Purple Line light rail project. We're on Wisconsin Avenue by Elm Street. This is one of the places where construction is happening for that project. Businesses will also have to have suffered revenue loss because of the construction of the project. This is the third phase of the grant program providing financial assistance. The grant money is available due to a partnership between Montgomery County and the Maryland Department of Commerce. The Purple Line is a 16-mile light rail line that will extend from Bethesda in Montgomery County to New Carrollton in Prince George's County. Now, some other criteria small businesses will have to meet to qualify include be registered and in good standing with the Maryland State Department of Assessment and Taxation. They have to employ 20 or less employees. They must not have received a Purple Line grant during phase 1 or phase 2, and they have to be independently owned and operated. You can find more of that criteria information on our website, dcnewsnow.com. Now, businesses can apply for the grant through the county's business website, and that website is montgomerycountymaryland.gov/business, and they can start applying starting next week on August 15th. Coming up in the next hour, we'll tell you what are the documents businesses will need to be able to qualify and get some of this grant money. But for now, we're live in Bethesda, Maryland. I'm Tosin Fakile for DC News Now. Back to you.
All right, time right now is 6:09 on this Friday morning. Happening today in the district, a D.C. council member is speaking out against closing a giant grocery store on Alabama Avenue in Ward 8.
Councilmember Treon White will hold a briefing later this afternoon about that rumored shutdown. Now, our team reached out to Giant. They replied saying, quote, "We do not have any current plans to close, but the reality is that the theft and violence at this store is significant and only getting worse."
And the company also called on officials for help improving safety at that location. Councilmember White's press conference is set to begin again this afternoon. That starts at 2 o'clock. And financial news today, inflation appears to be on the rise once again after 12 straight months of declining rates.
The latest Consumer Price Index report shows a slight increase from 3% to 3.2%. According to that report, the biggest cost increases are food and transportation. Economists say this was expected to happen and shows how hard it is to bring inflation down. They also say that will likely continue for some time.
The next couple of reports are likely going to show, bigger increases in energy. So that means higher prices at the pump, higher utility bills. That obviously eats into consumer purchasing power, because those are things you really can't live without.
Meantime, experts say it could take years to bring inflation down to the Federal Reserve's 2% goal. All right, well, the family of Henrietta Lacks is now accusing a second company of unjustly profiting off her cells. Last week, the family reached a settlement in a similar case that was filed in 2021. The new lawsuit claims that the Ultra Gen X pharmaceutical company profited off Lacks' disease. She was treated for cervical cancer at Johns Hopkins Hospital back in the 50s. That is where doctors saved a sample of her cancer cells without her consent. Since she died, her DNA has helped shape modern medicine.